It really pays to be a good person. It really does. I mean, this thing is so spiritual to the point to where if you're not being a good person, it really shows. It really reflects. I mean, you can have your moments in your days, but if your base character is good, literally, like, for instance, the Hulk wasn't always the Hulk. He didn't walk around as the Hulk 24/7. He walked around as Bruce Banner. It's when people do stupid shit that you turn into the Hulk. And then once everything is done, you accomplish what you needed to, you go back to being Bruce Banner. You know what I mean? I'm saying this, let me use my life as an example. People try to get over, and then when they're caught, they don't own accountability. That's the part that most people that's awakened have with other people, is taking accountability. See, I deal with people here in this realm where they will automatically charge you more because they know that you're not from this realm, and they'll try to get over on you. But they don't realize when they do that, yes, you can get over on people, charging them 2, 3, 4, 5 times the price. But in the long run, you making all that money, you're not stealing from the people, but I get it. You can charge them more or whatever. But if you're caught, for instance, this is how the game goes here. They can charge you 100 CDs, 75 CDs for something that only costs 20 CDs. In like, if you go in the local town and get it and just get it, instead of being lazy, you'll end up paying 75 or 100 for it, right? But a lot of the things we don't know what the price, the real price is in town, because you've never seen it. But the people that's with you, okay, so the person that's selling it is on the outside of the car. I'm in traffic. The person on the outside of the car is like, yeah, okay. I say, how much is that? They say, okay, that. But the people that's on the inside of the car with me, they are from this realm. And so they be like, nah, bro, come down on the price. You know what I mean? And so they say 50. And so, no, he started off with, okay, let me use my example. Back up, hold on. I'm trying to mix them too, but let me just use my whole example. He charged me 75. And one of the guys said, bring the money, bring it down some. So he said 50. And so I was like, what? And so the same guy said, man, hell, it's really 30. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? So I said, really? So I turned over to the guy who's selling, and I said, really? He said that he just started smiling, and he didn't say nothing. He just like, you got me. It was one of those looks. I was like, ah. So I had gave him the 50. No, I gave him 100. And he had already given me the 50 back. So I said, really? And so, because the other guy didn't tell me that it was 30 until after I had given the man the money, and he was giving me back the 50. So I already had the 50 in my hand. So I said, really? It's 30? And you still charge me 50, and you was trying to give me 75? He just like looked at me like, man, I gotta make my money. You know what I mean? He was giving me that energy, but he didn't say not one word the whole time. It was his energy. It was his spirit. It was the unspoken telekinesis ass energy. You know what I mean? You can really read everything that he was thinking. So I said, really? I can get it for 30. And I was like, cause I'm not a bargainer. You tell me your price, I'll tell you my price, and then we meet in the middle. If not, fuck it. I'm not about to sit here and go back and forth. That's like arguing to me. I'm not about to do all that. I said what I said. Shit. So when I said that, he just smiled. And I was like, oh, his spirit was so beautiful. I said, you know what? For you taking accountability, 444. As I said that, I just looked down. 444 as I said that. 4 fucking 4. Soon as I said, because you took accountability, here, take this other 50. And his eyes got big. And I was like, yeah. I said, because you was honest enough, because you didn't lie. He didn't lie. He asked me a price. I asked him a price. He gave me the answer. He know for out-of-towners or foreigners or people that's not born in this realm, of course you're going to charge them more because you know they got more money or the exchange rate is different. But local people, oh yeah, here, just take it for 20. Hell, he might even knock it down for them. You know what I mean? Because of the area that we're in, we got all kind of people running in and out there. So he going to make his money. You know what I mean? And so the fact that he took accountability, he gained. Whether it was 50 more, 60 more, or 70 more. Because the original price is only like 20 or 30 CDs for what it was that I bought. But I don't know. You know what I mean? And he gained for being a righteous person. This is why it's so important to do the right thing. You never know when you're returning that item. You've seen it fall. It's a wallet. You know their whole life is in there. They ID, they money, they probably they medicine, all kind of other shit in there, you know? And you keep it and run away and be like, oh, look. Now this whole person world is fucked up. But if you would have given them the wallet, their world would have been greater and your world would have been greater. They would have probably given you a reward or something. Man, thank y'all so much. And would have give however many it was something. You know what I mean? Or give you one person and y'all break it in whatever. You know what I mean? But because you were vicious and malicious, you seen what happened. You could have chose to be a good person, but you didn't. And you went and stole this person's, whether they lost it or not. You seen the whole act. You could have given it back and been that good Samaritan, but you chose to be a fuck boy and a fuck girl. And y'all think this shit is cool. You're being tested every area of your life. I still be fucking up. It's sometimes hard walking in this queen energy, this empress energy, this high priestess energy, this goddess energy. It's hard sometimes walking in it. So it's easy to be a local human, a local peasant, a local whatever. Because then you fit right in. You know what I mean? But if you're in costume, acting like a peasant, that's where it's conflicting. Sometimes I be in that energy because people be really acting stupid. And I have not in this energy. You're not going to do that. And I'm not talking to the person. I'm talking to the spirit. I see you. You're not just going to do what you're trying to do you can do that to the next person, but not me. And they get offended. Like, who? The fuck? Like, yeah. The fuck? Shit. No, people really be trying it in the spirit. And so when people see you acting ugly on the outside, they don't know what happened. So it's like, oh, who does she think she is? It's almost like if y'all familiar with that Cat Williams story when he fought the little kid or the guy at the cash register. They only show you the after part. They don't show you what happened in the spirit. How the motherfucker was fucking with him and antagonizing him, yeah, being just a goofball. You know what I mean? They don't show you that part. They don't show you the hard work that a person went through. You only see the success. You only see the success, and so you're trying to jump on their bandwagon. No, nigga, you wasn't there when they was having to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do whatever they had to do, their paper runs. You wasn't trying to be out there with them. You was asleep. You was like, nah, that's you, bro. Go on and do that. Go on and handle that. So here you are, 10 years old, 12 years old, riding. I know I'm going from story to story. I'm trying to help you to relate, to show you how this shit works. You trying to get your little money on, and you up at 4 o'clock in the morning delivering the paper. And then when you come back and after a week or a month, you got all this money stacked, and they be like, can I get something? No. And then they think you stingy. Then they think you mean. Then they think you, the fuck? I'm getting up at 4 o'clock. You ain't trying to be the big brother and escort your little brother. You 15 and I'm 10. You could at least escort me and help me make some of this money. You know what I mean? The faster I get it done with both of us working, shit, we can get a bigger route, more money. People don't be thinking like that. They just get jealous of their brother or sister. Why? They don't see the bigger picture. If you help me, help you, help us. The fuck? We all win. You live in my house for a minute, you stack your money and then go get you another house. That's how it is. You helping me, but you also saving money so you can go get your own spot. That was my mind. I'm helping you by staying in one little room over here, but giving you the amount of money that would help you with your bills. And then you can still be comfortable. But they want to still treat you like shit. I'm trying to help you so it can help me. So in the end, it'll help us both. What the fuck? You got a house, now I got a house. Being righteous is hard sometimes because everybody want to fucking give. It's like you give. And then when it's time for you to finally move out, you got to think about all the bullshit that you went through while you was there. Like, damn, this took a long time. I'm ready to go. Or your time wasn't long and you was like, I'm in and out. I'm not about to fuck around. I'm stacking my money real quick. I'll do what I got to do and get the fuck up out of here. Anybody who want to get away from your energy that bad, you got to think twice about you. If they don't want to be around you while they trying to hurry up and get away from you, you got to think about that energy. It's an energy. It's not what you showing people on the outside because it's confusing. That's why people got to start looking at the spirit. It's energy, frequency, vibration, spirit. All of that is the same. You can feel it. Just like when you can feel somebody looking at you. Like you can feel somebody, like really feel somebody, like what the fuck? You just feel weird. And then it'd be a fucking insect or what's them fucking lizard things, geckos, or it could be a spider or a gnat or a fly or a cat or a bird sitting on your windowsill. You know what I mean? You don't know what the hell spirit, but you can feel it. And every time I turn around, I look up and it'd be a fucking gecko on the wall or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Or lizard, whatever you call it. Whatever the fuck y'all call it in your language. Because the very first time I heard of it, it was called a lizard. But then when I got to my very first duty station, this shit was called a gecko. Like, what the fuck? So I'm learning different languages. So when I say certain things, it's hitting a certain demographic of people. Everybody not going to understand what I'm saying. It's not for everybody. Keywords in here is going to fit or hit certain people. They'll hear the word that... If I was to say in casa, you wouldn't know what the hell that is unless you know what that language is. In casa, you ain't gonna know what the hell that is unless you know what that language is. In casa, you ain't gonna know what that language is unless you know what that language is. You ain't gonna know what that word means. So you have to be a multi-dimensional being in every area of your life. And sometimes it's not easy. I'm not trying to tell you the secrets. I'm trying to give you game. Stop trying to, it's my way and the highway. Yeah, that shit goes, it backfires on us. You got to learn the hard way that a lot of people just don't think like you. And it'd be like, damn, you be thinking it's the simple, easiest shit. But a lot of people really don't know how to do a lot of things. It's like, really, people are not using their brain. I remember I was so conditioned and programmed to where I didn't know how to do the simple things like cross the street. I forgot you had to fucking push a button. I've been driving for so long, if you will, skip the military. I had been just driving for so long. So when I lost my car, for whatever reason, out of all these years, I was without a car. And I'm like walking the street. And I stood at the light cycle for 4 rounds. I was so fucking mad. Because I was like, when is it going to be my turn? I was being a brat for real. And then I realized, I finally looked at the pole. Because the pole is hella big now. You know what I mean? The poles have always been big. But it was like big and round. So you know it's some electrical shit in there. It's not like a regular light pole. It was, because I'm used to the little skinny ass pole with the little thing on the side and you push it. That's how old it is. This shit is electronic now. I'm like, what the fuck? Well, okay. Well, I didn't know that's what you had to do to push the button. And then the shit talk to you and all kind of stuff. I'm like, what? That's how long I hadn't pushed the button. You know what I mean? That's how long I was disconnected from reality. When you're driving year after year for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and then you finally don't have a car, you forget certain shit. Because the world has evolved. It's almost like being in jail and then you get out after 20 years. Yeah, like the movie Life. And then you be like, damn, the world looks so different. Like, how do you walk across? What the fuck do you do? That's how I felt. I had been driving for 30 plus 40 years. No, not 40, 30 plus years. And I had to go without a car. Like, what? Huh? I had to learn how to get back on the bus. I had to learn how to get back on a train. I had to learn all of those. So it helped me to be a well-rounded person. So if I'm in a situation, it automatically clicks back to when I was a child. How did I handle this then? I haven't used it since then. So what did I do back then? You know what I mean? That's where we're at in this evolution. If some of you are reincarnated, or if some of you have been here since the beginning of time, or if this is your first time, just go back to your childhood. But if you've been here after lifetime, after past and the past and the past, you tap back into that old self of who you are. Now I feel okay in this situation. So what do I do? How do I get out of this? I've been here before. It's deja vu. I remember the feeling. A lot of y'all are so afraid to feel. If you touch something and you don't feel it, you don't know what the fuck it is. So you going down in the rabbit hole and you not even trying to feel it. You're not, what the fuck? You're not looking, you're not smelling, you're not tasting, you're not using none of your senses. All of those help you to feel, to touch the reality that you're in. If you don't use those other senses, you can touch and fucking do everything. But if you see it, you still ain't gonna know what it is. Am I saying it right? You use all of your senses, but if you don't see what it is, it's like you gotta really use your brains. That's how blind people are able to tell what certain things are, by touching it and feeling it. When a blind person want to see what you look like, what they do, they feel your face. They rub your hands. They rub or touch whatever part of your body, the fabric, to see how you dress. You know what I mean? They touch your face to see if you wear glasses. You know what I mean? They could tell if your hair is real or not. Just certain little consistencies. You know what I mean? We are in a place now where being righteous is the only way to get out of here. Because if you gonna remain a fucked up person, you gonna stay your ass right here and deal with all of this calamity and destruction that's getting ready to happen. Don't nobody know where we going when this shit go down. But if you haven't thought about it, at least where you want to go if some shit went down, I'm trying to help you think now. Look. Where do you want to go? That's what you aim to be. That's what you aim to do. That's what you aim to become. Because if you're trying to get somewhere and you're not that energy, you're not going to get there. You know what I mean? That's just like going into somebody's house and you knocking on you just walking in the house because the door open. The fuck? You don't live here. Get the fuck out of here. And then the whole family, them big brothers and uncles come from the back and you be like, oh shit. Or them dogs come from the back. You know what I mean? You jump in the yard, them big, you know, they was asleep, but they still on duty. You walking in other people's energy. You gotta be you in this day and time because people can see you. You know what I mean? Like they have protection that you don't know about just because you don't see them. You know what I mean? Like you really got to be careful out here. Y'all have to be really careful. It's like really the physical streets are now the mental streets or the spiritual streets. And if you're not doing your part, if you're not who you say you are, because a person can tell if you really in those, if you from the streets, it's certain levels to being in the streets, y'all. Hell, you could be a fucking dancer in the street, a crooner sitting on a corner singing, or a homeless person, or a ninja. You could be anything in them streets. Don't nobody know. But in these spiritual streets, we can see you. And you trying to bring your 3D ass up into the spiritual realm when you ain't even tapped it. What the fuck are you doing? You got to get in tap with yourself and go within. That's the only way you going to get here. You got to go within self and communicate. You wondering why things are not happening the way that they are. That's because you're thinking too hard. Stop thinking in your head. Think from your heart.